You are running out of time to be able to make absolutely life-changing wealth with very little effort. Making money in crypto right now really couldn't be any easier, and in this video I'm going to explain exactly why that is. I'm also going to address a lot of misinformation that's being spread out there right now, and something you need to be very concerned about because it could have big implications on your future ability to make money in these markets. As well as that, if you stick around with me till the end of this video, I'll be telling you the coins that you need to be keeping your eye on, as well as delivering a new one that you've probably never even heard of that is very, very exciting. So hit the like button and let's get into it, shall we? Now guys, I want to address this crypto bubbles on the daily. Currently it's Friday. This video will go out on Saturday. I don't know what's going to happen, but right now you can see that we are seeing a sea of green across the markets. But one thing has been brought up more than anything else in my Telegram group this week, and it's feedback from watching another YouTuber out there. And it's the concept that this Bitcoin dominance that's soaring towards the upside is taking away from the altcoins, and eventually we will see altcoins and crypto absolutely crushed, losing another 70 to 80%. Now, whilst anything is possible in crypto, I want to address this particular piece of information by understanding about where we might be and where I think we are right now. Now, as we look into this chart, which shows the Bitcoin price on a logarithmic scale leading up into the halvings, and you will be able to easily identify that leading up into every halving so far, we have been basically moving in an upwards trajectory, having already seen the bottom of the market. Now, many will talk about the COVID Black Swan event that happened back in 2020, and obviously you could anticipate that maybe something like that might happen again. But if it doesn't, you will already have missed the boat by the time the halving comes round. And I'm also hearing that Bitcoin is pulling away from the altcoins, and the altcoins don't stand a chance without Bitcoin. But if you look at this chart, which gives us the market cap of the entire crypto space minus Bitcoin, you can see that we're currently retesting an area where many people have been saying that altcoins are dead. We're going to go towards the downside. Things are looking really scary indeed. Look at what happens every time we've broken out of one of these consolidation patterns in the past. We've gone into enormous altcoin bull markets. And in terms of where the entire crypto market cap is right now, you can see that we're basically repeating in a larger, more drawn out piece of action this market cap move from back in 2014 to 2018. And you can see that right now we are in this retest phase before this kind of double-legged bull market, which potentially might be coming out. Now, whether you believe that or not, let's have a look at what's really happening in the markets. Now, this is what basically people are talking about, the Bitcoin dominance. Now, if you don't know what Bitcoin dominance is, that's fine. Bitcoin is the largest market cap coin in the whole crypto market. And the dominance chart shows its percentage of market cap versus everyone else. So here you can see today it's at 52.5%. So that means the rest of the altcoins are only worth 48% of the entire market. And when Bitcoin dominance is going up, many people think that it eats away at the altcoins. And this is true if it does it in a bear market, because people pull money out of altcoins, which are falling more aggressively, and move it into Bitcoin. This allows Bitcoin to stay steadily kind of coming down a little bit slower than the altcoins do, because the altcoins will plummet as people take more money out, put it into Bitcoin. Eventually Bitcoin falls over and then just pulls everything down with it. Because if you subscribe to this channel, which hopefully by now you are, you would have seen me bring up this before. And this is the path to altcoin season, starting with Bitcoin, where most money flows in, then into Ethereum, the large caps, and then into the kind of the dirty degen altcoins, alt season, which happens down the line. Now, this was basically kind of true of before, but because more of the crypto space is being more educated, there's more people in this space right now, considering we've been pretty much at the bottom of the bear market than there's ever been before. Now, that would tell you that the Bitcoin dominance is likely to be increasing right now, but it doesn't mean that it's increasing while everything else is bleeding. And you can see that today, while the Bitcoin dominance has absolutely surged towards the upside, and today we're seeing Bitcoin currently up 2%, but you're seeing Solana and a number of others being up like 8 to 12%. Does it mean that the altcoins are bleeding? Well, no, because 12% of Solana is significantly smaller than 2% of Bitcoin, I believe. Probably have to check the maths on that. But I think that's right, because Bitcoin's market cap is that much bigger. So when Bitcoin grows in percentages, it doesn't take away from the altcoins necessarily, unless the market's moving down. Now, what you can see here, guys, is the Bitcoin dominance chart, and we get a downtrend here, which I've drawn on with this blue line here, and I anticipate that we could be running into this area and falling off again. Now, everyone who's telling you that because Bitcoin dominance is going up, it's not a good time to be getting into altcoins. This, on the 4th of January, this is a weekly chart, 4th of January 2021, you see the Bitcoin dominance put in these highs up here. So what was happening in the Bitcoin price at that point? Well, you can see that Bitcoin had a pretty good run up from that kind of COVID-19 dip, and around that date was up around 880%. In that same period of time, you can see that from that same dip, Ethereum was up around 1,140%. So you would see that the percentage was up in Ethereum was far greater than it was in Bitcoin. This theory that Bitcoin is going to bleed out of every other altcoin is only relied upon, and only to be relied upon, if you anticipate that from here we're going to roll over into a further, longer phased bull market, which of course can happen. But what makes me very concerned is people out there are airing that it is 100% going to happen. And why is this so important? Well, I marked on this chart what happened to other coins during that period of time. XLM, about 4 or 5 weeks leading into it, didn't really do much. And then suddenly it blew up 260% in that same time. And then following that went into full-blown bull market phase. HBAR, you can see from that point, when Bitcoin suddenly tops out on its dominance, suddenly rips up over 1,000%. Veracity has a few quiet weeks after that hits, it rips up 10,000%. So my point is, right now, if you've been researching those altcoins and whatever, not to be like shaken out and scared necessarily. Now, Bitcoin is a safer bet for sure, and it's not to be sniffed at, and is definitely worth having some exposure to Bitcoin. And I'm not saying that you go and rally into hard onto loads of altcoins, because it's very clear as we look at it today which altcoins you should potentially be paying attention to. And let me show you. Now, right now, we can see the Bitcoin has been pumping into this red zone. This red zone is representative of some very significant resistance, and there's no guarantee that we're going to break through it, but the market looks pretty bullish. What we can see as Bitcoin looks bullish on this chart like this is how other coins have reacted. And here you can see the Veracity in the last couple of days or so has kind of been sort of trailing down towards the downside, trying to make a minor pump, but not really done anything. In this case, you can see that Bitcoin is stealing away market cap from coins like Veracity. That doesn't mean that people are taking money out of Veracity and chucking it into Bitcoin, although they might be. It just means that Veracity is kind of more down into that kind of alt season kind of coins than like others are out there. Now, interestingly, Ethereum against Bitcoin hasn't really been having a great time either, and as well has been having a little bit of a quiet time. Not necessarily bleeding like many people are fearing. HBAR, XLM, not really doing very much, but there are coins I'm paying close attention to. And one of them, which I've been talking about so often on this channel, and not because I'm trying to pump my bags, because even if like the 10,000 people who watch this video, if I'm lucky, go and pay like $10 each and buy $100,000 worth of Solana, it's not going to make any difference to pumping my bags, guys, because it's got a multi-billion-dollar market cap, okay? So, what I can see on Solana is that while Bitcoin has been performing strongly, so has Solana. What does this tell me? Well, it means that Solana, which is up 25% in the last like 4 or 5 days, and Bitcoin in that same period of time is up like 10%, it tells me that I don't really have the same fear of being associated with that potential of altcoin bleeding by being in the right crypto coins right now. Solana as well doing something very interesting as far as I'm concerned, in that we're running into that purple line, which is a very decent ascending triangle, okay? No guarantees that we break out from beyond there, but potential breakout target, if it happens, is up at $44. I'm also going to point out Render Network, Render token, that's also been having a phenomenally strong run over the last few days, as well as when Bitcoin's been pumping. Is if this turns out to be the case, those altcoins that everyone's sort of saying are dying and slipping away towards the downside are suddenly going to wake up, and they're going to do it so fast, you're not going to be ready for it. And this is what I mean. Veracity in the last bull market, suddenly just one day after doing absolutely nothing, wakes up and it just rallies, okay? It does a 24x in the space of like a month. Okay, so from the 4th of March here to the 13th of April, you can see, which is just a little over a month, it does a 24x. And I get it, it is riskier to be buying into altcoins and stuff on the way down, but that's when people make money. It's the same as not waiting to sell the absolute top and selling it on the way up. Because if I showed you this right now, and you had been buying Solana down here at like 22 bucks and you were selling it somewhere in and around this area here, you would be able to come back to me in hindsight and say, I'm pretty damn happy I got out of Solana at that point. This is where we are right now. I don't know, and you don't know whether it's going to go further or whether when tomorrow you wake up and it's up another 10, 20, 30%, okay? That's the point I'm making. Right now, we have the potential to be able to get in somewhere around the bottom of this particular crypto or other particular cryptos. Now, Solana not the best example right now because it's already been rallying. But look at the charts on the likes of Near Protocol and whatever else, guys. If you back these cryptos and you can identify that last time we were in this green zone, Near absolutely shredded it up and ripped all the way up around 24x from this level, then maybe it's something worth looking at. But don't just take it from me, guys. You need to go and do your own research, understand these different coins and whether or not there's something you want to be purchasing and whether or not you can handle if the market suddenly has a black swan event and suddenly ruins everyone. But there's a good chance that won't happen. So that's basically my point. I think right now we're heading towards a very exciting time in crypto, and a lot of people are waiting for something to happen that might never happen. It's very dangerous. Now, the other day I made this video about D.Fi, which is a very exciting project. It's been around for a few years with over 3 million active users, and it's basically an everything app for Web3. The investors are the same venture capital fund that was behind SpaceX and Tesla. It's a company that's been tweeted about by CZ of Binance, Andrew Kang, and many others. It's already partnered with some major universities around, such as University College London, and has already connected with every major exchange going. And it's an app for everything, which is the way to onboard people into a Web3 and a very exciting DeFi app. And right now they've got a pre-sale going on, and if you use my link down below, you can come and visit their pre-sale where you'll be able to pick up a D.Fi tokens ready for the upcoming launch. You can get it at a 10% discount if you go for 4 months linear vesting, or you can get a 30% unlock at the token generation event TGE, and then 70% for months following. I recommend you go and hit the link down below and come and find out more. It's one of the most exciting projects that's coming up this year, and I myself have invested in, so go and check it out. Definitely worth having a look at. Hope you enjoyed today's video, guys. If you did, hit the like button. If you're new to the channel, subscribe. See you in the very next video. Bye bye.